you know anything about me, you would know that Red Dead Redemption 2 is my all-time favorite video game. You can agree or not, but you can't tell me that Red Dead Redemption 2 doesn't have one of the best stories in gaming history. And you know, the game came out in 2018, but if Rockstar is giving it the same treatment as they did with GTA 6, we probably won't be seeing a new game for quite a while. But as long as they're serving us perfection like the last one, I don't care. But we do have some hope. The parent company of Rockstar Games has confirmed that the third installment of Red Dead Redemption is on the way. The CEO of Take-Two Interactive confirmed the news himself. Piggybacking off of that, a well-known leaker by the name of My Time to Shine Hello tweeted that Red Dead Redemption 3 is currently in the early stages of production. And people do tend to believe what this guy is saying because over 90% of the time, he's actually correct. This comes at the perfect and kind of predictable time, because we all know that Rockstar is currently wrapping up GTA 6. So what's next for the company? We're all hoping that it's Red Dead Redemption 3. And it's kind of weird to think about, considering they pretty much threw Red Dead Redemption Online out the window. Numerous amount of people have shown their concern about the game, and Rockstar just seems not to care, and throw all of their attention to GTA Online. And they just released Red Dead Redemption 1 on PS5 for $50. And that's wild considering it's not even a remaster. These game companies have been getting really ballsy. But hey, Rockstar is gonna do what Rockstar wants to do. And they have proved that time after time again. But they seem to never disappoint whenever they release a brand spanking new game. Not a remaster, but a game built from the ground up. So I have very high hopes that this game that they release will be nothing less than perfection. I know everyone is wondering, what could they possibly do with the story in the next game? They already have a prequel, and it seems like almost everyone has died off already.
Don't feel right. Now it don't feel right. I could have told you.
Or that's where a lot of games theorists, predictions, and conspiracies come into play. A lot of people want to see another prequel, and they have a lot of ideas about it. One idea is that Rockstar could tell a story about Arthur Morgan's former love interest, like the reoccurring one we have seen multiple times, Mary Linton. We all know that they didn't work out because her family disapproves of Arthur and his criminal past. Or they could even talk more in depth about his son. Arthur met a waitress named Eliza, and they had a son named Isaac. Arthur was showing them regular support until one day he came back and saw that they had been killed in a robbery.
But I know now that you don't get to live a bad life and have good things happen to you.
Many of you wonder why Arthur Morgan chose the gang time after time after time. This is a perfect opportunity for them to showcase that a little bit more. Some of you want to see how the Vanderlyn gang came to be, which in a way we kind of already know how they came to be just from stories. But if you want a video on that, make sure to let me know down below because I've been kind of wanting to make that anyway. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. But what made Dutch want to start the gang? Why did people want to join? And speaking of Dutch, a lot of people want to play as Dutch. I know I would love that. Dutch is one of my favorite video game villains. Another idea is seeing how the Blackwater Massacre played out. All we have is a lot of stories, but to actually be in that moment where everything seemed to take a turn for the worse would be really cool to see. Or a game where we get to be in the mind of Dutch Vanderlyn and get to understand his psyche. What did he do in the gap years between the second and the first game? I mean, probably hiding out somewhere and getting into more trouble. A lot of these ideas would be really great to see, but at the same time, I don't think they could make a full game out of just these ideas. Alone, at least. Now, as much as I would love to see Dutch, Arthur Morgan, and John Marston in the next game, I personally think that they are going to be giving us a Jack Marston game. Aww. We saw him grow up. I believe it's going to be a story about how growing up in a gang affected his life in adulthood, or maybe his journey on finding and getting revenge on Agent Edgar Ross, the guy who was responsible for hunting and killing his dad, and most of the people he called family. I think that could be an interesting story because as we all know, Jack Marston wasn't always a gunslinger. He was very knowledgeable and liked to read and write. What pushed him down this road of revenge?
Here's a beautiful passage. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief.
And hey, maybe they can throw some flashbacks in there, where we do get to see or even play as some of the old Van der Linde gang. I think that'd be a great way to tell the story, but also be able to give us something we all want to see. If we're being completely honest, I believe that Rockstar will give us something that none of us will even be thinking about. They don't like to be predictable. I think it'll be a great game either way, but unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be seeing it for a very long time. But if we're going to have to wait this long, they better make it good. What would you want to see Red Dead Redemption 3 look like? What kind of story do you wish they would tell? Do you want to see old characters come back in this game? Or do you think that their time is done for this series? Let me know in the comments below. Pause for now, play forever. AK out.